Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm sharing with you what I eat in a day to lose weight. It is intuitive eating, non-restrictive, and I'm also going to be sharing with you my intermittent fasting routine because I feel like if that has been such a game changer to me and I feel amazing. So because my first meal is around 11 a.m., I am hydrating myself with water. It's the first thing that I drink every single day because it really kickstarts my metabolism, flushes out my body, and makes me feel hydrated and really good. Also, I am having some kind of tea, some kind of green tea. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I love having green tea because that also helps with digestion and keeps me full until my 11 o'clock meal. I know this is weird, but I have to drink tea when it's more cooled. So because of that, I can just leave my tea and let it cool down. I don't drink hot tea at all. I don't know if that is only me. So around 11 a.m. is my first meal, like I mentioned, and I'm gonna make a rice bowl. I love these. It makes me feel really full after fasting. So I'm doing the 16-8 intermittent fasting, which is basically where you consume food within an 8-hour window and you fast for 16 hours. So the easiest way is to do this when you're sleeping. So for instance, my last meal will be 7 p.m. in the night, and 16 hours after that will be 11 a.m. So that will be my first solid meal. Before that, I will just go ahead and drink water and a tea and just hydrate myself. So I don't actually feel hungry at all because, for instance, if I have work on that particular day, by the time I reach the work, it is 9 a.m. and then I just have 2 hours where I would, drink water and keep myself full. So I don't really have that hunger pang. So I feel like if the 16-8 intermittent fasting routine is a much more easy and manageable way, so you don't feel like if you're actually starving yourself. And like I said, you do this while you're sleeping the majority of time. So for instance, if you had your last meal at 9 p.m., you would have to fast for 16 hours. So your next meal would be 9 to 9 a.m. and 4 hours later. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So 1 p.m., which is why I make sure and have my cutoff time in the night around 7 p.m. so that my first meal is 11 a.m. and I feel much better about that. So I love roasted vegetables. It is something that you will probably see in every single one of my what I eat in a day videos. I basically cut up whatever vegetables I have in my fridge and I go ahead and just add some olive oil or lemon infused coconut oil, add some spices, seasoning, salt, black pepper. I sometimes add pimento powder, cilantro powder, just whatever there is. Basically, whatever is your personal preference, which is why I love this so much because you can make this any way that you like. So I did eggplant, cauliflower, red onion, garlic. I love roasted garlic. Oh my goodness, the flavor is insane. And I also did tomatoes. So you can probably watch my last What I Eat in a Day video to see what I roasted. I think it was asparagus and broccoli and stuff like that. So I pop that into my toaster oven, which you guys know is my favorite thing in life. And then here I have my rice cooking and I just strained it. And of course, it's just plain. It's not anything fancy. I always love eating what is in season, and that is avocado right now. That is one of my favorite things in life to eat. Oh my goodness, I love it. So I'm adding avocado and kale to my rice bowl. I try to add a green in at least once for the day. If I don't eat it for lunch, I will eat it for dinner. So my roasted vegetables stay in my toaster oven at the highest temperature. I think it's 240 degrees and for about literally 10 to 15 minutes, and that is it. So I will just pop that out and make up my rice bowl. I've only realized that I don't have a proper bowl for my rice bowl. So I'm using my favorite plate in life, but I am definitely looking for a really beautiful white bowl that can be my rice bowl because I eat rice bowls all the time. If I counted how many times I said rice bowls just now, you guys, it's just too much. So this is the fun part about it because you can add literally anything that calls to you. I also had some leftover tin corn, so I added that. And then I had some lime, and oh my goodness, an acid is so good. Lime, lemon, apple cider vinegar. You can make whatever dressing you want. You could also add garlic sauce to this. You can also just do whatever protein you want. So I'm adding some veggie burger that I also did in my toaster oven. You can add salmon, chicken, whatever it is, but I eat vegetarian with some fish occasionally, so that is what I added. But I always try to add a protein in there because the protein is what makes you feel full. It will make you feel really content. So for sure, in one of my main meals for the day, the protein has to definitely be higher than the carbs. So my protein to carb ratio, I always try to be mindful of that. So my snack would be around like maybe like 1 or 2. That's where I feel I need a pick me up, and I'm eating something again that is in season, which is Portugal. You may know it as Mandarin or something like that. And I always add some salt to this. If you have not tried this with salt, try it and thank me later. It tastes so good. I love having at least one fruit throughout the day. And if I were to feel hungry after this, remember I can eat from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So I can probably like eat something else after. But this usually holds me over. And remember, I'm also drinking a ton of water throughout the day to help me keep full and not feel like if I'm starving. But I really do eat mindfully. I make sure not eat with my phone around or anything like that. I really take my time to sit and just eat whatever I feel to eat mindfully, consciously, and intentionally. And I am having so much fun with it. It is so easy and I love it. I wanted to make something fun tonight, and I love soup. And I wanted to share with you a Trini or Caribbean inspired corn soup. So I love this so much. I would eat this all the time when I was back home, but because I'm living like way further from the city itself, I have to like find ways to make my corn soup, and I love it. It's so easy. You basically just need like garlic, onions, some seasoning, and it's so easy. And I make this at least like once a week. So whenever I do my grocery shopping, like my market, I always buy enough things to make corn soup at least once a week. It is so easy, and I feel like if soups are one of the most inexpensive but nourishing and comforting foods that you can have. So I have some butter, onion and garlic in my pan, well, in my pot. And then I am cutting up some potato because that really like fills up the soup. And then I'm adding some of the corn to it. And I honestly need to start cutting up my corn into smaller pieces. I don't know where I'm going, but I do love corn so much and I like big pieces. But you should definitely cut these up into smaller. So I'm going to add some Maggi, soup it up. Oh my goodness, this is really what gives my soup that flavor, that Trini Caribbean flavor, and I love it. I'm also adding some cilantro powder and pimento powder. You could just basically add just really nice flavorful seasonings, and these are basically what I do. And I know it looks kind of unsure right now. I know it is looking kind of sketch, but I promise you it's so good. Something that you may not like adding is some chickpeas. So this is my form of protein in my soup, and I love it. If you didn't try it, just do me a favor and try it and let me know what you think. But I'm basically separating half of my chickpeas for the next day, and I'm using out the rest in my soup. And I'm also adding some peas and carrots for some extra nutrition. So you add this about 10 minutes before the soup is finished. So you want to check your potatoes, make sure they're kind of like soft. And that is when I would add in my other ingredients that don't need cooking much, which would be the chickpeas and the peas and carrots. And like I said, I need to cut the corn smaller so I would not have this problem in my soup bowl. But oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite, most nourishing, comforting foods. It is so filling, and I can basically eat the pot out and I don't feel bad because it's actually so healthy. And since I'm making it at home, it's even more healthy with my raw ingredients, natural ingredients, no preservatives or anything like that. So such an easy recipe. You guys need to try this. It is so good. I did not make my way up to doing like more fancy soups, but this, I love nothing better than a Trini Caribbean corn soup. It's so good. For my dessert, I can eat basically anything I want because that is what intermittent fasting is. It is non-restrictive and just eating whatever you want. So if I wanted some chocolate, I can do that. But I'll share with you an easy raspberry sorbet recipe. You can use this with frozen raspberries or frozen strawberries. And then you just add some honey. You can also add some lime, but I felt like if the raspberries were really tangy, and these raspberries kind of melted when I got them delivered from my online grocery. So that's why I decided to use them because I really could not do anything else with them. So I felt like if a sorbet was the easiest, and it was just about 3 ingredients, so simple. And I added some chocolate chips to this. I have bought chocolate chips because I have been dying to make some kind of dessert with chocolate chips. Something that is healthy. My fridge does have Kit Kat in it right now, which I don't regret at all. Because like I said, this is all about being non-restrictive, but I personally like doing everything in moderation. So I would not like binge out my life on chocolate, but I feel really content using this intermittent fasting method. I feel like if it works so good for me. I love not feeling like if I have to like starve myself or just deprive myself. I love eating what I want throughout that 8-hour window. So if I'm feeling for pizza that day, I would eat like pizza. But for dinner, I would make sure and have like a really big salad or something that has way less carbs. So for me, it's all about balance. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up if you want to see more like this. Your engagement really means a lot to me. Don't forget to also subscribe so you won't miss anything fun. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.